Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Youthman. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to set up the JVC DLA-NX7, setting up the different aspect ratios such as 16:9 as well as 2.35:1, since my screen is a 2.35:1 scope screen. Now, before we get into the video, here's a word from our show sponsor, PSB. For the past 45 years, PSB has been in pursuit of its Canadian roots of producing audio products with true-to-nature sound. Paul Barton founded PSB in 1972 with a passion for developing loudspeakers that would accurately deliver dynamic and natural acoustics. With a wide range of hi-fi speakers, from their budget-friendly Alpha series to their premium Imagine series with elegant curves and beautiful gloss black or gloss cherry wood veneer, as well as subwoofers, powered monitors, and headphones. They are sure to have something that fits all your audio needs. Now, during the month of April, you can get an additional 15% off your order during checkout, so be sure to check the link in the description below for the discount code. All right, guys, in the last video, I shared with you my initial impressions of the JVC NX7, and man, it looks gorgeous. I'm really loving the colors on it. I love the brightness. Pretty much everything about it so far has been fantastic, and we haven't even gotten it dialed in. And so I want to kind of go through, I guess, kind of a series of videos as I set up and calibrate and make some changes to it and the things that I learn about it. I just want to share it with you guys in case you're either considering the JVC, maybe the NX5, NX7, they even have the NX9, which is a step above mine. Now, if you haven't seen the initial impressions video, I'll leave a link to it up here in the card above, as well as in the end screen at the end of this video. So when I began building my theater room 13 years ago, one of the things that I made a decision, it was a pretty big decision, was which aspect ratio to go. A lot of guys go with a 16:9 screen, but for me, I figured the best decision for my room and my needs and the type of media that I mostly watch would be a wider Cinescope 2.35:1 aspect ratio screen. Now, I also made a video on that and kind of my thought process behind that. Why did I choose a 2.35:1 over, say, your standard 16:9 screen? So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link to it up in the card above as well. So with a 2.35:1 aspect ratio screen, there are some things that need to be done in the settings of a projector that will allow you to change easily from, say, 16:9 content to 2.35:1 content. And in this video, that's exactly what we're gonna do in the JVC DLA-NX7. So let's jump into it. All right, so here we're looking at the Book of Eli, the beginning Blu-ray menu. And so all of your Blu-ray menus are going to be in 16:9 aspect ratio, but this movie is shot in 2.35:1. So what we're gonna do in this video is set two presets in the JVC, two installation modes that will allow us to easily switch between 16:9 content and 2.35:1. If we had filled up this entire screen widthwise, all of this menu down here would be pushed further down below so we wouldn't be able to see it, and then probably the book of would be cut off as well. So we want to be able to easily switch between those formats and those aspect ratios. So on a 2.35:1 screen like I have here, you can see when you're viewing 16:9 content, you'll get gray bars on the left as well as on the right. So what I want to do, I've already got this set up and saved as a preset for 16:9, and I'm going to walk you through on how to set up the 2.35:1. And so I'm going to hit play on the movie, and then we're just going to skip forward to kind of a brighter scene. We could use that one, but it's got a little bit blurry edges. I'm going to get to an actual clip in the movie. Most of this movie is very, very dark and kind of grainy, but that's the kind of vibe through the movie. So I'm going to get to kind of a brighter scene. We'll do, I think, the next scene. Yeah, right here. So I'm going to hit pause. Okay, so you can see here, when you're watching a movie that is 2.35:1, on a 16:9 screen, you would get gray bars on the bottom and gray bars on the top. But since we had the preset saved for 16:9, we're getting gray bars on the left, right, top, and bottom. So here's how we fix that. We're going to go into the menu of the JVC. We're going to hit right twice. And you'll see right here on the top, it says installation mode. Now, I've already saved one preset for 16:9, but I'll show you what I did. So I'm going to click OK, and we're going to click OK again. So here you see we have 10 different installation modes, 10 presets that we could save. So we could save one for 16:9, one for 2.40 to 1, one for 2.35 to 1, and so forth. You can even do different settings for just different scenarios. And so we're going to just change one. So what we're going to do is come back and hit the back button. Come down here and I'm going to go to mode copy. We want to copy the zoom and lens memory and all of that, the focus from 16:9. So I'm going to hit OK. We're going to come down to mode 2. So initially that 16:9 said mode 1. When you buy the projector and you boot it up, it's not going to say 16:9. I did that, but I'm going to show you how I did that when we do the setup for the 2.35 to 1. So I'm copying all the settings from 16:9 to mode 2. So I'm going to click set. It's going to ask me, do you want to copy it here? We're going to say yes. And so now we've made a duplicate. So if I come back up here to mode select and hit OK, you'll see now we have two selections. We have 16:9 and 16:9. It's duplicated. So now we need to switch over to that second 16:9. So I'm going to hit down, and then I'm going to click OK. Now it's going to zoom and focus and lens shift, but it really didn't do anything because it was the same settings. So now we need to rename that 16:9 to 2.35 to 1. So I'm going to come down here to all clear. It's just going to clear the name. We're going to tell it yes. So now we can come up here and call it 2.35 to 1. So it's 2.35:1. So if you're not real sure what that means, all that means is an aspect ratio. So for every, let's just call it units. So for every 1 unit high on your screen, it's going to measure 2.35 units wide. So if you had a 1 foot screen high, it would be 2.35. I'm sorry, if you had a 1 foot high screen, the screen would then be 2.35 feet wide. And so if you had a 4 foot high screen, you would take 4 times 2.35, and that would give you that width of your screen. And so we're going to click OK down here. So now we have, it says save this name. I'm going to hit yes. So now when I come back up to mode select, we have a 16:9, and we also have a preset or an installation mode for 2.35 to 1, but we're not done. So I need to click back. We're going to go back again. And then the first thing I want to do is, this is just a preference, the way I like to do it. I'm going to come down to lens control, click enter. And then down here, by default, when you first boot up the projector, if you don't change any settings, this is set to image pattern on. And what that'll do is, instead of allowing us to see the actual image, it'll put like a test pattern. My personal preference when I'm setting up lens memory and doing focus and everything, I like to use the actual image. And so I'm going to leave that off. So I'm going to also come back. And another thing I need to do, I just know on this setup, I've already tested it. When I zoom in, I don't have enough throw distance. My projector cannot be back far enough to be able to fill my entire screen. I mean, I'm about a ½ an inch from being able to fill the screen around all 4 sides. And so I have to change this aspect ratio to zoom, and you'll see what happens. It just kind of punches in, makes the image just slightly better. I'll change it back just so you can see. I've bounced back and forth and I can't see any difference in the actual image quality as far as the pixels and the resolution. But again, you may not have to do this, but in my case, my projector physically cannot go back any further, and so I've got to use this aspect to zoom. So it makes the image just a little bit bigger. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to exit out of the menu. And on the remote, there's a button that says Lens Control. So when I hit that, here's all we're going to see. We're going to see a box here and it says Focus. If I hit the OK button or the Lens Control, it'll switch to Zoom. If I hit it again, it'll switch to Shift. So basically what we need to do is zoom in this image and make it larger. When we make it larger, these gray bars on the top, the gray bars on the bottom, the gray bars on the left, and the gray bars on the right are going to extend above and below and to the sides of my 2.35:1 image. Now, if you have a anamorphic lens, you wouldn't do it this way. This is what I call the poor man's anamorphic setup. To be able to do 2.35:1 and fill the screen, this is the way that you would have to do it. And that's why projectors like JVC and Sony and Epson have this feature. So we're going to hit OK and we're going to come down to Zoom. So basically I'm going to hit up until we can get the image to fill the entire width of the screen. So I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit. So click up a little bit. Okay, right there fills the entire width of my screen to left and right. I'm going to hit OK again. Now we need to shift that image up a little bit. So I'm going to hold the up arrow, bring that all the way to the top. And then we're going to need to zoom in just a little bit more. And so you're going to need to keep going back and forth with shift and zoom until it fills the entire width and height of your screen. So you got to zoom in just a tad bit more. Right there should do it. And you want to get it as close as you absolutely can. You don't want to be zooming in to where you've got a ton of overspill. And so that right there is about perfect. The last thing you need to do is we're going to hit OK again. And now we have focus. And so typically what I like to do is I'll just blow it out of focus. I'm going to hold up until that just gets crazy out of focus. Like you cannot even read this right here. And then we're just going to click down one at a time until that gets tack sharp. And we want it just really, really, really sharp and in focus. And tack sharp is right there. That's beautiful. And now we're going to hit menu. So right now we're watching a movie. This is 2.35:1. And let's say we end up popping in a DVD or a movie that is in 16:9 format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eject that video. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to put that same video back in because we know the DVD menu is going to be 16:9. And once that loads up, we'll just fast forward to the menu. Okay, so you can see here, this is in 16:9, so above and below, it's already being overshot, so it's overspilling. And we could go ahead and change the menu here, but I think it'll be easier if I get to the main menu we were showing earlier. Keep going. See, that's in 2.35:1. Sometimes when you're watching previews, the previews will be in 2.35:1, but then some of the other, the menus like the FBI warning, that's going to be in 16:9. Okay, so you can see here, this is shot, basically overshot. It's basically zoomed in for 2.35:1, but this menu is not 2.35:1. It's only in 16:9. Okay, and now all we need to do on the remote is we're going to hit the settings memory at the top. Now you can see at the top left it's kind of cut off, but we know we only have 2 presets. Right now it's on 2.35:1. So we're going to hit up and then we're going to hit OK. And you're going to see it's going to zoom out, do a little adjustment on the lens shift, and then it's also going to refocus where we saved it for 16:9. And there we go. Now before I wrap up the video, I want to remind you of 2 really important things. Number 1, if you're interested in the giveaway for the Valencia Verona theater seat that giveaway ends tonight. And so make sure you head over to youthmanreviews.com/giveaway to get entered. And the second thing I want to mention to you is the upcoming audio trade show that we talked about at our last podcast. So if you're interested in that, tickets will go on sale pretty soon. We don't have an exact date, but it should be in the next few days. So be sure to check out thehiFiSummit.com. I'll post a link to it down in the description below. Now, if you like videos like this and are into home theater, audio, and video, make sure you're subscribed because I produce weekly content that I'm sure you'll enjoy. And as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next video.